So dudes, Mr. Few the Aquarium Dude coming at you today, not to look at one individual fish tank, but to look at an improvement I can make on the entire fish room. And that is something that every tank is missing. I'll give you a hint. Right into the water. We're missing lids here. A lot more evaporation comes off the tank, so a lot more water coming out. I had a little bit of problems with like a little mold growing up here. I had to keep this door open. I got a dehumidifier pretty fast, and the little guy's working, but there's still, you can feel the humidity in this room right when you walk in. The other thing I want to hold, or that should help, is holding the heat into the tanks. And so you could think of, they say it's like being outside in the winter without a hat on, right? All that heat evaporates out of these tanks. And so a lid not only will stop evaporation, it'll stop some heat loss. And lastly, it'll make sure one of these guys doesn't go jumping out of the tank. You guys have seen my puffer fish. He can get skittish. I had a buddy over today. We were sitting there talking, and boom, he goes. I'm kind of getting close to him to see if he'll do it. Almost jumps out of the water. He clears about that far, and so you can see the water's low because of it. So, it's an improvement I'll make on all the fish tanks. It's a design that, if you follow a lot of YouTube channels, you've probably seen, but with a little twist. So, dudes, let's head to my garage and show you what I got. All right, dudes, we're out in my garage to look at something that took about a month to get here. I ordered this from Home Depot. It took over 30 days to get here. About a week for me to get a buddy to let me borrow his truck to go get it, and it's finally here. It's double-walled polycarbonate sheets. And so if you look here, it's kind of like the structure of cardboard. There's two sheets that are put together, supported by a bunch of little ones in the middle. It makes it a lot sturdier, and you can't see, over 3 feet, it has a little bow to it. And a little fish tank lid, it's a lot firmer. I actually have the single-walled in my 55-gallon display tank. That one just sinks down a little bit, so I wanted to make sure if I'm going to make lids for an entire fish room, they're going to be the best I can. Alright dudes, so we've been cutting them and I didn't show you how I'm doing it. So Marilyn just got back from her walk. Look at that dog. So let me show you how we've been cutting them. One thing that's really nice about this one is this is already 11.5. But let's just pretend I didn't know. The 30 is 29 and what, Kevin, do you remember?
I believe it's 29 1/4.
Yeah, check that. So I'll measure across 29 1/4. Come on over here so you can see what we're doing.
Yeah, it's 29 1/4.
Okay. So I'll just lock it out. What I think is somewhere around there, right? Measure there, 11.5. Right there. And then I'll come across, stick that under there. Find 11.5. And match that up with 29 1/4, correct?
29 1/4, not 26 1/4.
29 1/4. There we are. And so I just trace my line across. And then I like to take that long end and just start tracing. We know that's the right distance. As long as this line matches up straight, we know we're going to get 90 degrees across. And we're off. Let me just adjust that a little. We get a little bit of a cheat with this greenhouse. panels are a straight line.
It does make it a lot easier to see your cuts.
Alright, we just cut it. So try not to cut my bucket while I do it. Let me just go across. It's funny, we're messing with such a Frankenstein piece now, but I've tried to use the factory's walls, and that's why it's just cut all the way around it. So this one will actually use a factory corner. So this is the only side that you'll actually see. And I can see. Alright dudes, the cutting is complete. Came down to the last piece. As you can see, we just have some scraps left. I do have some plans for them, but we have our 40-gallon lid, two 30 gallons, a 20-gallon long, 30-gallon long, two 5 gallons, and then I was really hoping we had enough, and we did, for the double two-paneled 55-gallon. And so we're almost done. A lot of people I've seen online make hinges, or they'll make them kind of sliding ones. I really just think that's complications that things are gonna go wrong. And so I've decided to make a feeding hole, just drill bitting through them. And then that was just a test. I tried one, tried another, it got too sloppy. I'm gonna go get another drill bit. But I'll just have a little chunk I can keep over it. And when I'm ready to feed, slide it back. And then for our air holes, I tried 2 different size bits. Ooh, I brought a little hosing out. It fits really good here, but I think it fits too tight. You know, I don't want to pull the lid off and all the sponge filters go with it. So I'm just gonna go with a little bigger hole. That'll just make it a little easier to take off. Dudes, we are back. As you can see, all of the pieces are cut. We have all our airline hoses cut into it, feeder holes set up, our plants, like any plants that are growing out of it, Inacurus out of the corner. I had to do a little custom job on the hang-on back on the 55. But my boy Broloy, who's gracious enough to help me out all day today, we go to his house. Why don't you tell him?
Yeah, so we go over to cut the feeder holes, and my dad's there, and he happens to have every tool in the world, so we decided to cut the feeder hole cover with a 5-inch, and then he came up with this little idea for a quick nut and cover bolt idea, so you can just kind of swing open, swing close, not have to worry about losing it.
Absolutely awesome idea. I'm so excited to get these installed. It's not going to be an easy task to, set up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 of these. Make sure all the air hoses are right. Everything's set up. As you can see, not every feeder hole is the same. I went different spots depending on the tank. All right, dudes, the boys are done. All the lids installed. Thought we'd just kind of show you these 3 real quick. They fit in there super snug, really easy. Kevin's gonna do a little feeding for us. So these are baby rainbows, and I got a lot of blue velvet shrimp. Yeah, there's plenty in there.
They're eating well
Oh
tonight.
boy. Yeah. All right, so lid worked good. Let's see this one. Oh my God, we can't even show that. Look at we're showing it. That's the bomb that just hit it. I worried about it, folks. Let's look at the lids. That's okay. There's a lot of fish in here. Okay. Yep, there it is.
Oh no.
There it is. That's okay. Here's our pipes.
Ruined it.
Our hooks. We all want to see it. What's going on? It's snowing. And the crebensis are going crazy. There's 7 in there. They'll eat it all up, as well as this fancy pleco in here. He'll be out in no time. All right, so let's get back to our lids, though. That was hilarious. We got our pipes. We got our feeder holes on every tank. And I just did a little cut job for these. They're going to keep getting bigger and bigger. This one was a little more of a challenge with trying to put them in the back. I think I'm going to have to move that back there. But I am really just super pumped about how these lids turned out. All of them fit snug. Kevin, any final thoughts?
It's pretty cool. Came over to lend a tool this afternoon with a big sheet just sitting out in the garage, and now it's, you know, finished, tweaked a little bit. Final product looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Happy to be a part of it.
I agree. Shout out to Kevin and Al for helping me out. Mr. Few the Aquarium Dude, out.